this like awful thing when I woke up this morning, and I was just like, yeah, you're doing the radio show, you're talking about music all the time. You're going to be like, so what was your favourite releases from last year? And I was like, what?
Oh, I couldn't remember that.
Yeah. It's like, I said to Aaron, it's like when someone goes, oh, what's your favourite film? And you go,
Yeah.
I've never seen a single film.
Terminator 2.
Matrix.
I do know the answer to that, Fifth Element. But
That's a good answer.
thank you.
We just include this in the pod.
Yeah, we're
One
recording.
of those rolling starts.
What's your favorite thing? That's how the pod goes now.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Oblivious Maximus. I'm your host, Ben Searle. I'm joined with...
Joined with Aaron Osborne, the other host. I'm just turning my phone off.
No, we're getting going, mate.
We're underway here. How you going, Ben?
I'm good, mate. We were at the Tote last night, rocking out.
Yep, we were. Antenna.
Rock
Band.
Indie darlings again, I guess now.
Yeah.
Like a lot of cool, normal people there.
A lot of jorts.
Jorts, a lot of jorts. But before we get more into the jorts, we are joined by Robyn. How are you today, Robyn?
I'm good. Big Jorts fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm into it. But hey, I'm good.
What's your jort collection like?
Minimal.
Minimal?
I used to have a really nice pair of camo jorts back in the day, and just need to replenish that store. Don't
Yeah.
have enough jorts.
I don't think I can go back to the long shorts.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing the big pants.
That
That
big
suits me.
Yeah, good.
billowy pants.
Billowy pants.
Yeah.
But shorts above the knee for me. That's
Like a true Australian.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I can't. There's some things you got to leave behind.
I mean, I'm in that world now, I would say. Like my camo shorts are above knee height. Can't be lower than that anymore.
I think I'm too old in body, not mind and spirit,
Body.
to wear like the cool jorts that like
Yeah.
other people are wearing.
Long
Yeah.
ass shorts.
Long ass shorts.
I genuinely bought a pair, and I think they're not the cool type of pair. I think I got them from like Dangerfield or something a few years ago. So I was trying to reconnect with my youth, and I just looked like Avril Lavigne, which
Yeah.
isn't a bad thing if I was still 15.
As
But I'm 35.
As evidenced by your pictures in our live show, Avril Lavigne did make up a large part of your style at one point.
Featured heavily on my music and fashion rotation.
She was an icon,
She was.
or is.
She invented skateboarding.
Yeah.
That is true. Duck has started wearing a pair of jorts. Hope I'm not doxing her too much on the pod today. Patty and Ellie who run Gold Street Press, who are kind enough to give us some giveaway stuff for the live show as well. They have a sticker. I think it says Big Jorts Energy. And Duck was like helping them out at this, this market they were selling their wares at. And Duck was like, I've got a pair of jorts. Do you want me to wear them? And they were like, yeah, sure. And then so she was like modeling the energy at the thing. And then since has just started wearing them around the house. And like anytime she puts these jorts on, it's just real funny because they're so baggy.
That's what you want, though. You want
Yeah.
to like.
That's how they're meant to look.
Yeah.
But and I guess it's like comfort over anything else. That's what I think I respect about the sort of Gen Z fashion. It's just pure comfort.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And there is something in that because I wore skinny jeans for a long time and I absolutely
all?
should not have been.
I mean, I think that aside from the fact that I've generally speaking, as I've teased multiple times on this, have basically worn the same clothes since I was like 13. Haven't really changed my fashion too much, but participating in the hardcore scene, seeing my peers move through various looks has been one of like the things that I love the most. Like, and I think we're in it's very interesting now because all this stuff is like nostalgia fashion is in play now. Like,
But I feel like it's so mixed because of the internet.
yeah.
But it was like, I think the No Warning show was the biggest marker for me. I think I've said this in the podcast before. It's like all the old heads were wearing North Face, all the young kids were wearing Arc'teryx.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the split.
Yeah. Still a shell jacket.
Yeah, the shell jacket divide.
Different brand, slightly more expensive than the other. But I got into hardcore when it was like in the UK. I don't know what it was like here. was like the crossover between like metalcore into hardcore. So there was still a lot of skinny jeans, but then the divide at the shows was like the Nike Air Max, the camo shorts, the wife pleaser singlets, and then the skinny jeans, the fringes, of which I was part of as a cohort.
Yeah.
Until I like gradually
Graduated.
You
graduated to the Nike Air Maxes. The camo shorts.
Yeah. So Sam from I Exist, again, like, suck shit, mate. But he's one of my favorite. If you want to look at a year of like what was trending fashion wise in this scene, he's a good barometer for it. Like when I met him, he was big fringe, big spaces. He was going to the gym a lot, so he only wore sleeveless shirts, but all like bleeding through sleeveless shirt, hate breed sleeveless shirt.
Yeah.
And then like 2 years later, fringe is still there, but now it's under a beanie that's resting at the back of his head. That American Apparel hoodie that was the flavor of the month.
Yeah.
Everyone had it.
With the white
Jane
suit.
Doe shirt.
Yeah.
Skinny jeans, Vans. And then now he's just like a doctor looking man. Like he's just a grown up now.
Well, what it meant was like I was like graduating from one style of fashion to the other, but I was still in that like everything must be tight as hell and skinny. And I was only wearing youth larges at the time, or like smalls. But I would take in all of my clothes. And
Really?
I can't sew, but I had a sewing machine, and I would just do like, and I can't concentrate enough to sew, I think is what it is. And so like I've still got all my old t-shirts, and I'm pulling out like these like really nice old t-shirts that I'm like, oh my God, prized possession. With like, and I would take them in and then cut off like the excess. So you can't release them.
No. It's,
wow.
You're locked in now.
Yeah. And so like I can't wear them now because they're like crop tops. And again, 35. So.
The body changes.
As you
over time.
age, things move around in ways you don't want them to go.
Well, a friend of ours made a blanket out of all their old shirts. Just made a big quilt out of them all. So I guess, but that's really the only thing you could do with all those old shirts. I have a box of old shirts that I just have sitting there that I can't throw away. And I'm like, I got to do something with these at some point.
I'm ruthless at this point. I collect I Hate God stuff, so I have a massive amount of I Hate God shirts. But everything else, as soon as it gets like a little bit grey or like pits are going on me, it's either a sleeveless shirt for wearing at home or it's at the op shop. Like it's out of here.
When you say going, do you mean holes?
No, I would like. I think if
It's stinky.
Well, not even stink, just like the neck is all fucked,
Yeah.
you know? Or like it's blown out from hanging on the washing line or whatever. Like,
See, I'm
like
wearing
golden
stuff to
heavy.
death.
at this point, between shirts that I want to own and then shirts that I get for free and then shirts that I buy when I'm pissed and they come and they don't fit me.
You got a surplus of shirts.
I got way too many shirts.
I don't know what my shirt size is. So I've got like shirts from like I'll go
Youth
through
large.
phases.
Taken in youth large.
Taken in with all the excess chopped off. So I'll just always, because I really like baggy fits and stuff like that, but everything fits differently. Like AS collar,
Oh, yeah.
Gildan heavy, perfect. But I've just got like so many XL shirts. So I got like a surplus of like bed shirts.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm looking pretty fly when I'm going to sleep. That's about it.
You got exclusive drip for the bedroom.
Well, I have a few shirts that I only wear around the house because the band has been cancelled.
Yeah,
Painting shit.
that's a hard one. I mean, you know, still getting anytime I'm getting around in that Pantera shirt, I'm still getting. All right, I get it.
T-shirts make good like polishing cloths.
Yeah.
They do.
Things.
And that's another thing that I have.
Clean the bike chain. You know.
Yeah. Duck was like, "Do we have any rags?" And I was like, "Babe, I got rags. Give me 5 minutes, and I'll give you 10 rags."
See that Gildan box?
Yeah, all those mental cavity shirts in the shed—they're all rags now.
Robyn, some exciting stuff for you. You've just got a new radio show going on. It's pretty fab. How you
Yeah.
feeling about it?
I'm so excited about it. Apart from the fact it's at 2 a.m. till 6 a.m.
Yeah.
But who needs sleep? Red Bull sales going to go through the roof. But yeah, it's really exciting. So I just like chatting to a friend from work, Grace, she runs Rack Off Records. She's in Blonde Revolver. And she said that because I'd said, oh, I used to have a radio show at uni. So like
Awesome.
when I went to uni, I joined like every conceivable society you could do.
Club gal.
I frothed uni so like Miss University without the crown. Like I was the president of the Netball League, social secretary of the Athletics Union. Like I did a radio show. I like worked handing out flyers. I was just like anything I could do at uni.
So let's just
Get in.
step one back.
Yes.
Did you go to uni like the second you finished school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the UK.
Yeah. But so the difference for me was I went to uni 2 years after I finished school. And so by that point, I was
Old
like,
and jaded.
well, I was 2 years older than everyone else there.
You're a mature student.
I'm a mature student. But also I was like, I have to leave this place. Like I want to spend as little time here as humanly possible. And then I proceeded to go to university for like 10 years and do it the slowest way you possibly could.
I wanted more time. I was just like, well, not for the studying bit, just for like hanging out, doing things. Like
You
fun
were Van
things.
Wilder.
I genuinely, I watched that film and I'm like, my man, like, what's up?
Yeah, the American uni experience seems very like different to here.
So sorry, I derailed your story.
It's okay.
You're at uni. You're at every club.
I mean,
You're leading all of them.
So where I got to from here, because I love a tangent, was started a radio show, joined the Radio Society, didn't have the foggiest of what I was doing. Everything, like this is 15 years ago, more, 17 years ago. So technology, not good.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing to put like USBs into or anything
Yeah.
like that. Like it was either like I had to burn everything onto CDs because I was downloading a lot of music offline.
Of course, as we all were.
And yeah, like you knew how to use like the basic buttons, and then it was just on like online digital radio, and that was like every Tuesday 6 till 8 p.m. And I would
Nice.
just like play hardcore. I'd like one of my friends' bands who were on tour come into the studio, did the worst possible interview anyone's ever heard in their life. I think I found it on an old hard drive recently. The sound's bad. I like played some songs in between them talking, and I think it was like a Go It Alone track, and because it was a CD, it was skipping, and I didn't notice because we were all chatting away. I think there's like a lyric in his song where he's like, "This is a really lonely place" or something, and I was like, I think he thinks this is a really lonely place, but he's been saying that for like 10 minutes.
That's good.
And I got what I wanted to get out of it, and like it was a bit fun, and then I was just a bit more interested in getting really, really drunk 5 nights a week.
Yeah.
And then fast forward, he's 17 years later, and I was like, I think I want to get back into the thing again. Like I've been doing a lot of video presenting with work and voiceover stuff, and I just love chatting and listening to hardcore music. So I was like, let's go. So yeah, Grace from who I work with, she put me on to PBS and
Awesome.
said they do like a course once a month or something that you can do. It's like 4 weeks long. You like submit a demo, you practice, and you can do like fills, so like filling for people who are on holiday or sick or whatever, and then you can like submit a proposal for a show. So I did that immediately because I was like, oh, I'll submit this proposal. They'll be like, you're amazing. Let's go, like clear the roster. And they were like,
You're getting the prime breakfast show.
hardcore every morning.
Hardcore on your drive.
And they're like, yeah, okay, great. So we meet a couple times a year, and then we've just got to move things around and stuff. So I was like, It's never gonna happen. But then luckily a spot opened up. Someone had graduated from a graveyard slot to like something more palatable hour for them.
Yep.
And I just jumped at the chance. So 4
Great.
hours of hardcore every other Thursday night, Friday morning. Me chatting into the wind.
So
That's
if
great.
you're up late or
And I guess it's all streaming on the PBS website.
Yeah.
After the
Yeah,
fact,
so
right?
like if you're in Victoria, you can tune in 106.7 FM, or you can go to pbsfm.org.au and you can stream live, or every show is recorded, so you can catch up.
That's great.
Yeah.
it's good. I notice it might be like a good time though for people overseas to listen to it.
Oh, it's great. So like when I'm like posting about it on Instagram, I'm like the world time clock. I'm just getting like my world time video, and I'm just like, LA folks, this is the time. New York, London, tune in.
It is well, and I guess a lot of people do that now because I noticed that a lot of people listen to that NTS radio. I don't know much about it, but it's like they play a lot of, I guess, electronic music, and
Yeah.
people would be like, "Oh, I listened to this show that's on in the middle of the night in the UK or the States, wherever it is,
Yeah.
but it's on at lunchtime here, so it's
Yeah.
perfect." So
Yeah.
And yeah, I got a little bit into that. Like, I mean, I did community radio years and years ago.
Yeah.
And I mean, I loved it because I love the format of it. And I mean, I don't know if anyone ever listened.
Yeah.
And it was just me copying the radio show of this Australian comedian, Tony Martin, just going like, what if we did the exact same segments? And but I remember definitely playing like a lot of heavy music. And then we did community radio in Warrnambool, my mate and I, when we were at uni. And the local station was just like, yeah, you can have 2 hours every Saturday because this is like regional radio and no one's listening. And the woman before us was like, geriatric. And then after her show, I played a Mind's Nest song. And she like told me, she's like, can you not play something like that straight after my show?
Well,
my listeners don't appreciate it.
Your listeners, fucking hell.
But that's like the thing I like have to think about now is like 6 a.m. goes straight into the breakfast show. And that it's obviously not hardcore. So like the last half an hour that I've done like graveyard shifts, or I've had something that's at like slightly different, bit softer, you might say, after, I'm like, okay, it's time to start playing some like Military Gun. And like Secret World.
Ease into
like
whatever they play for breakfast.
something with no shouting.
Yeah.
And a little bit more upbeat.
So it's kind of like, you know, just a downward curve into the morning.
Yeah, or just like
Yeah.
Hard shift the last 3 songs.
yeah, just like
When we were talking the other day, you were talking about having, you know, it's quite a long time to be on the radio as well. So you got to put together a lot of playlists. And every week or every 2 weeks, that's got to change pretty drastically. You can't just do the same thing every time. How have you found that already? Like doing a couple of them?
4 hours is a lot of music.
Yeah.
It's about 80 songs.
Yeah.
If I'm waffling enough.
Yeah.
Which
You'd be waffling.
I'll be waffling.
What are you
waffling.
talking about when you're on there?
Mostly just like, I mean, I yap a lot. But so like most of my spiel is about like the song.
Yeah.
If there's any gigs coming up, anything that I find interesting about the band, if I've seen them recently and like how good they were. And then that if there's like a specific part of a song that I like, and then I usually do a really bad impression of it and regret.
Tune in for these bits, guys. You got to hear them.
It's all the bits.
And you're playing a lot of Australian stuff on there too.
Yeah, so we like the station has like we have to play, I think it's 30% minimum Australian music.
Yeah.
And you know, every show is wildly different. The aim is all underrepresented genres of music that you wouldn't hear on like mainstream radios.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of Australian stuff in there, but it just means that like when I'm putting together the playlist, the first thing I do is go, okay, what's new in Australia? What's come out?
Yeah.
And what's some Australian bands I haven't played? Obviously my knowledge is, I would say, not as like deep as like you guys lived here for so long and stuff like that, which is nice. It's fun because I'm like researching and finding bands that are new to me.
Yeah.
Like I remember a couple of years ago I saw Mindsnap for the first time and I was like, this is sick.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the 100th time I've seen Mindsnap.
Yeah.
So I usually start my show with a big Australian segment anyway.
Yeah, great.
And then, which helps because I just think like anyone who's listening in from anywhere, especially if they're on catch up, the first 20 minutes is maybe like the main bit that they're going to listen to. So chuck the Aussies in first.
Yeah.
And then from there, I just kind of, I'm really lucky. There's so much new stuff. Like even in the last week, there's been like so many releases. So that fills up a lot. And then I go, right, what genre of old shit am I looking for now? And it's just usually whatever whim I'm on.
Yeah.
Like that week, like I've been listening to a lot of tragedy this week. So
That's
tragedy and
getting played.
tragedy-esque bands feature heavily in the middle segment.
Great.
For my next show.
And has that meant that you're finding a lot of new stuff as well because you actively have a reason to find it now?
Yeah, and it's sick. Like I think it's been really good for me because in my older age, you have your favorites and that you go back to. I listen to a lot of Blacklisted still, and they're the goats for a reason. But it pushes me out my comfort zone to like find stuff and like listen to stuff that I wouldn't normally. And I'm pretty like genre agnostic, I think. Anyway, like I'm not someone that just like only listens to Beat Down or only listens to a certain type. Like I do like to listen to it all, so it's nice. I've just try and follow as many bands and record labels and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It's like a little scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
So like every weekend when I sit down, because it takes like, I think each show to put together is probably more than 8 hours,
Yeah.
10 hours of work, sitting there listening to everything and then arranging it, getting it all the music, and then like writing out all my spiel, my script. But yeah, it's super fun. Like it's really inspiring. Like I was sat in the cafe on Tuesday morning, just like
In the lab.
in the lab, like at the bar with my coffee, like it's 7 a.m. and I'm like, let's go. But yeah, it pumps you up. And then like it's always nice. We have a text line. You can text in. No one's really texting in at 2 a.m. But towards like 5, 6, when a few people are on the road, and it's nice when someone goes, oh, I haven't thought about this song in ages, or like, love this. Like, then you're like, oh,
That's great.
yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think I think, you know, for us doing this has certainly, you know, involved us with newer stuff a lot more as well. And I mean, there's no sense in doing a weekly podcast, for example, and only talking to shit from fucking 30 years ago. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense. Like, the people who are attending to this now want to hear about the new things that are happening.
Well, you don't want
Yeah.
it to just be a constant, like, remember when
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, it is nice to have a bit of that, and I think we naturally just fall into that.
Yeah.
But,
You like what you know. Do you know what I mean?
well, as we've said constantly, this is for young people.
Yeah. And I
Needs
mean,
young people to keep it going.
Yeah.
yeah, and I
True.
think the hard thing too as well, like when you want to do something like this, or like you want to keep contributing as you get older, is that you can't just make it about you the whole time. Like you have to drag stuff up with you
Yes.
to keep yourself a part of it. Because if you
Yeah.
are just, and I mean, again, like whatever, there's quite a lot of discourse going around, like bands reforming and whatever. But like, I think the biggest thing for me with that is like, you can't just, you know, oh, we're back again, like because it's popular again now. Like, you either have to engage with everyone else
Yeah.
and be a part of it, and maybe your old band doesn't get to headline the show or whatever,
Yeah.
because you are not as popular as the thing that started a year ago. But you have to participate in it. Like, you can't just expect people to pay attention to it. And I mean, and I think the benefit that it has when you do participate with it is that maybe you do pass on your fucking old person learnings or your failings, and people can
Yeah.
learn from the shit that you did wrong. Or
Yeah. And that's what, like, when I was conceiving the idea for the show, and I think I put this in my pitch to the board that select the shows, was I had the idea I wanted to start a show, and I was like, yeah, like there's so much new stuff like going around, it's amazing. But then I think it was genuinely, I saw a tweet once, and it was when Have Heart announced that they were doing all those reunion shows, and someone had commented on being like, oh, I'd never listened to it. It must have been a young, I think they were a young kid being like, oh, I never heard this band. They're so sick. Like, I'm definitely going to go down the show. And that was like cute, because then there was like loads of people replying being like, oh, if you like this, you should listen to this. Loved that. That's exactly what you're
Yeah.
talking about there. Pass on your knowledge. But also it kind of just like clicked in me. I was like, wow, there's people that like, obviously we take for granted. I've been listening to hardcore for like 20 years. Like, obviously it's been going around for a lot longer than that, but take for granted that younger people, they might not know Have Heart. Do you know what I mean?
Sure,
If they're
yeah.
just getting into it and stuff. So that's when I was like putting together the idea for the show. I was just like, definitely want to have like a big part of it be playing some of the oldest, not have like
Sure,
the whole
yeah.
focus, but like going deep in on like a specific genre or decade or something, to like surface bands that like newcomers to the scene, because their contribution is just as valid as someone that's been here for like 40 years or whatever. So like be like, oh, hey, if you like this new band so and so, you should check out these older bands, because it's kind
Yeah.
of similar sound, or you know, they've said that they were their inspiration or something. So
yeah.
Because, I mean, I guess for a lot of us, we had that, you know, looking inside the CD and you're like, who did they thank? You know?
Yeah.
And, you know, that experience. And I guess you get a little bit of that on Spotify in terms of similar artists, or
Yeah.
on Apple Music or whatever, but it's not really the same as
No.
someone going like, hey, I know that you like this, then
Yeah.
you will love this. Like, it's kind of a nice thing to do, people, in a lot of ways. Like, for me, I'm trying to like read a lot this year, and it's like,
Yeah.
there's so many books out there, and you're like, where the fuck do I start? And I think having someone go like, well, if you did love this, this is great. Like,
Yeah.
but being able to pass that knowledge on in music form is like really important. Yeah.
Yeah. And it pushes me to like keep expanding that, because I think you can't, as much as I wish I could know everything about the genre, I'm still discovering stuff all the time. So
Yeah.
I'll be like listening to something and then, you know, or like something will come up on like just like Spotify Shuffle. I'm like, God, this is sick. What is this? And I'm like, oh, it's a band from the 90s. I should know this. Ugh, I'm a poser.
I think I do think that, my big thing was always like, what shirts are the band wearing in the promo photos?
Yeah,
that was like the way to
true.
find, well, if they like that, then I'll probably like it because I like their band or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think now the challenge with that a lot is that like even the bands now, and I mean, I'm guilty of this too, is like I'm wearing the shirts that the band I liked was wearing. So I'm not teaching anyone anything new. I'm just like,
You're
yeah.
bypassing the band you like.
Yeah, exactly. So, we got to figure out another way to get better at that. And my thing too is like this similar artist thing. I could be incredibly incorrect with this, but it is based on where you are as well. Like the algorithm with it is it's not like everyone who's listening to this band is also listening to blah, 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 blah. It's like targeted to your algorithm.
Yeah.
That damn algorithm.
So, thanks for nothing, Spotify. You're already fucking us all by paying us 0.1 cent.
Yeah. I mean, I am starting to get a bit like wigged out by how reliant I am on Spotify. I got to start buying more music.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is that I definitely buy, if I love a record, I'm buying it.
Yeah.
And I will do that all the time. But and also like knowing that we're just talking shit on Spotify now. Thanks for listening to this on Spotify, but time to talk shit. But like, the audio quality is quite bad comparative to other things because they upload like, at least as my understanding goes, someone can prove me wrong if they want, like the lowest quality version so that if you are in and out of internet, it'll keep streaming. Like it'll load enough to keep going.
Well, false, because mine always, I'm on Vodafone, so I don't get
Well,
signal
that's your first
anywhere.
problem there. You're piggybacking the major carriers.
Even if you go like highest quality on Spotify, it's still like, because I remember listening to something through Apple Music and I was like, this sounds fucking incredible.
Yeah. And then even if you go further and listen to shit on Tidal, it's like insane if you listen to the difference.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. From now on, I'm only listening to uncompressed waves.
Yeah, exactly. You wanna if you wanna send us a demo, which no one has ever done, but if you want to do that, you got to send us in the highest.
What if we start releasing the pod like that? Just a Dropbox link.
Well, actually,
Gotta find it.
When I first started doing the podcast, the earliest version of it was like recorded really terribly. And then I started getting better gear and started doing it better, and I started uploading it, and I was uploading these like enormous audio files. And the first feedback that I got on was like, it's so loud, because like they were not getting as compressed as lower quality audio files. And then I started having to figure out like, well, what's every other podcast sound like? Then I have to make it sound like that. This is the most boring inside baseball fucking podcast
Industry chat.
but
This is How to Pod.
this is how to
Welcome
pod.
to How to Pod.
But it took me like so many fucking back and forths of learning like what sounds good or what doesn't sound good to get to the point of like, you just got to upload like plain audio. Like kind of the most basic version is what everyone wants to listen to. But anyway.
I used to have a podcast. Started in COVID, like many others. It
Yeah.
was when I was in my like peak bodybuilding
Oh, yeah.
era. And again, it was just like, the same with the radio show. I was just like, I think I'm going to do this now. And just like got a mic, just a Yeti mic, and got my laptop and GarageBand.
Yeah.
And I was just like, right, I'm just going to interview people on Zoom. And I don't know the first flipping thing about like audio or anything like that. And
I
I'm
think
like,
that's most people.
Yeah, honestly.
I like
Podcasts.
must have done something in GarageBand, which like must have pressed something because it's just sounded so bad. And I was just like, ship it. Like, let's go. And
Get this online.
Get this online. Like I must have moved, been like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. Treble, bass, like.
Well, there's
buttons.
two Australian comedians, Nick Cody and Bart Freebrand, had a podcast for a while where it was just like Zoom recorder on the table of them having lunch, and that was it. And so you like hear people like the waiter come up, go like, "What do you?"
Yeah.
And I guess that was similar to our pub podcast, which we've talked about before.
Yeah, but we also tried to do a couple other things. Like this glorious podcast we do now is not the first time Ben and I have tried to figure this out before.
No, I've done like 6 podcasts.
Yeah.
Or done a few over the years. Well,
Yeah.
I did one called The Bad Times, which was just, it was like right before I started comedy.
Yeah.
And Aaron was producing.
Yeah.
And it was just like talking to people about different news articles and stuff. And then I did one with comedian Aaron Gox, where we chatted to a few celebrities. That was pretty good. And then I did one with my friend Prue where we tried out wellness trends. That was really hard. Because we're like, all right, we're doing cold showers for a month. And you're like, this is not worth it for a podcast.
I was going to say, what were the trends that you tried out?
We did like morning pages, which is like where you get up and you write freehand stream of consciousness 3 pages. That's like a writing technique. And I still do that sometimes. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
We tried to do like get towards a 10K, and week 2 I sprained my ankle or like rolled my ankle. And we did a few others. I think, we went and did a tarot reading, which was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Do you remember one time we took my Zoom recorder to the footy?
Yes. We never released that though.
No. But I remember I definitely listened to it like a week after we did it. And it was just like you and me talking shit. Like not even like as focused, like some people will probably listen to this and be like, these guys are just talking shit. But like this is focused. We're trying to think about what we're talking about, where it was like, I think I had like 1 beer and we were at the footy. So it just completely went out the window. And it was basically just a recording of 2 people being in a football game. And it was like, and I remember listening to it later. I was like, who would listen to this? Like
I'd listen to that. I'd listen to YouTube chat any day.
Yeah.
I think that's like, but now thinking about like, like now live streaming is like the biggest thing.
Yeah, true.
Like, who's that guy, Speed?
Yeah,
He's like a guy who just sits there with his big crew of people, and they do just like 24-hour streams, 48-hour streams of just like pure live the whole time.
Well, that guy, who's that guy? He had fucking Travis Barker on his podcast, and it was just Travis Barker playing Blink-182 songs live. Not a podcast, the stream. Anyway, whatever. People familiar with the internet and young will know what I'm talking about, but huge majority of our audience is young people, by the way. But I think he just had Travis Barker in his like house playing Blink-182 songs. And he was just sort of sitting there like talking while this was happening. And it was like, this is where media is up to now.
That's interesting.
On the cruise show.
Is that what you're saying there?
Oh, no, hang on. That's from 2015.
But anyway, the point I was trying to make is that like you kind of have to do a lot of these things to figure out what is the good version of it.
Well, that's true. I'm very fortunate when I go into the radio station. There's a lot of buttons. I think I have like 4 or 5 screens in front of me. But we do, like when you're like learning how to do it, you learn what all the buttons do. But luckily, there's very few buttons you need to press.
Yeah.
And I also realized very quickly that I'm very much if I'm playing a vinyl, chuck it on, put the needle at the start, let it play. So then I'm like, I now have to find the song.
Yeah.
And a lot of these fucking hardcore vinyls are on like clear spot. And like it's dark in there, and I'm like holding it up to the light and being like, trying to count like, okay, I think that's like song 4, and then having to like listen to it and being like, sure.
I can't think of anything worse than doing that, if I'm honest. Like I love listening to music on records. I think it's like, and still like playing in bands, it's like the most important to me version to put out. But truly, there is nothing worse than being like, I would just be like, if I want to llisten to track 4, like, I'll wait.
Yeah.
I just got to wait till it gets to track, because I'm not going to be like, that's where it goes.
You're just getting wherever it lands. The bit like could be halfway through, but like every time I pull a record out of a sleeve and it's clear or something, I'm like,
fuck again.
When you did your bodybuilding podcast,
Yes.
oh sorry, how long did it go for? How long?
2 years.
Yeah, that's like a significant amount of time of getting used to that.
And I did release an episode every week.
Holy shit!
Yeah. I burnt out pretty hard at the end of these 2 years. I'd like been bodybuilding for a couple of years, and I was just like, the reason I started it was because everyone was interviewing all the pros and stuff, and yeah, that's interesting, but they're all doing the same fucking thing, and like they're so far away. They've been training for years, or they're genetic freaks or whatever. And then when I was doing it, I was very amateur, and I'm meeting all these people, and I'm chatting to these girls who are doing it, and they're like nurses with 3 kids, and and I'm whinging. I've got my desk 9-to-5 job, and I'm like having to get up at 6 a.m. so I can go at the gym before work. And these women are like juggling 3 kids, working night shifts as a nurse and stuff. And I'm just like, you super women, like superhumans. So I was like, I want to talk to you. Like, no one's really doing that. And there was like, it can be quite a hard industry. It's very like, bodybuilding's very solo. It can be really lonely. So I was like, oh, big thing for me is community and like getting people together and connecting people. So I was like, okay, me talking into a microphone, love doing that. Community podcast.
Let's get it together.
And it was super fun, and it was locked down, so I was at home. I was prepping for a show, so all I would do was like train in my garage and then go to work, and then I would do like podcasting stuff. And like at one point I was prepping for my show, so I was doing a weekly prep diaries, a weekly interview, and then Friday nights I would do a weekly Instagram live with someone random that I just started following on Instagram, and who was prepping as well. And so that's like 3 things a week. And then we came out of lockdown, and I was like, yeah, I can't. So I want to go to the pub.
Yeah.
Well, it was a weird time to like, not to talk too much about COVID, but it's like,
It's been 5 years.
but realizing how much time you have without the other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
how do you fucking burn this time? Like,
Yeah.
it was sort of a bit of a shock to the system of like, I definitely had to stop a few things when things opened up and go like, yeah, I can't keep this project going.
I can't keep puzzling anymore. Yeah.
I'm just so glad that I was like, I decided during it that I was going to do some uni because I wasn't working as much.
Yeah.
But I finished it like exactly before the lockdown ended, because I know for sure if I didn't finish it before it ended, I would still be doing it now. Like it would have been like, well, now I'm doing 1 class a year. Like that's how it goes now.
You're a busy guy.
Well, I want to do fun things.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I care about.
I know, yeah. But that podcast still lives somewhere. I still pay like $20 a month to keep it alive, and
Yeah.
I'm still getting like 100 listens a month or something.
That's great.
It's helping people. I took all the prep diaries down because I was like, I was talking a lot of personal information out there, like, like talking about. I'm not going to go into it. You can imagine. But like, I was like, that part of my life is kind of behind me. I don't really want this information still circulating on the web. So,
Yeah, I'm glad I took some of mine down.
yeah, it's got to be done. Bit of hygiene, bit of.
You can still listen to every dog shit old Oblivious Maximus episode right on this feed. So,
I think I've watched some of them.
yeah.
Travis Barker was on Kai Cenat's
Yeah, that's who I'm talking about.
13-minute drum solo performance. Kai Cenat has 16 million followers on Twitch.
Yep.
A few followers, we got a way to go.
Travis, if you want to come in and play live in this room, feel free.
That'd be great for us.
Thoughts on 13-minute drum solos?
No interest. As
There
a
was-
former drummer, couldn't care less.
Yeah, I mean during that first, or that when Turnstile came out here for that laneway, they did the big drum solo in the middle of the set. Interesting choice. Play some old songs.
I mean, I think it's just like it's a big band thing. Like,
yeah, I mean it is. I mean it's a spectacle, I guess.
Yeah, but even like,
If I want, do it and turn upside down. That's what I want.
yeah,
Spin around.
get yourself in that Parkway cage.
Set it on
Otherwise,
fire.
yeah, have some cannons. Otherwise,
But as
Don't
we
worry
said
about
on this podcast, the spinning drum kit was kind of like
yeah,
compared to the fire. Like the fire was like
the fire was the main thing.
At the Parkway show.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't even, I was like, the closest you could be that without
Oh yeah,
being
we were
in
there.
the-
We were there at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
you were in the stands.
Yeah, I was the closest you could be without being part of the crew to the right-hand side
Yeah,
of the seats. So I couldn't see the drum.
Yeah, you sent us a very good photo, and it was like a curtain.
I can see behind the curtain, which is interesting. But like your view was amazing because I didn't realize that thing came out, and there's all sorts going on.
We still haven't, the rest of hardcore hasn't come up to that yet, but whatever. I'm sure they'll get there at some point.
Pyro, pyro, pyro.
Well, I was hoping, the new speed run would be a lot of flames, but that's okay. We'll figure that out.
Confetti cannon.
Confetti cannon. That's the steps you have to take.
Surely we could just have 5 of us stood at the front of the stage with those like pop things.
That's a good idea.
Well, I did that for a friend of mine's. A friend of mine did a lip sync battle as part of a comedy festival, and she did a Lily Allen song. Escaping me right now, but we learned to dance to it, and it was like
Sick.
Me and other guys that had to look like shitty guys, and then at the end we all did poppers over her out into the crowd. It was
Poppers?
pretty good. Yeah, like the big. Oh yeah, we did poppers. Yeah, big party afterwards. We did the what is it? Confetti, confetti gun.
Yeah.
Into it.
They don't really go that far.
No.
But I suppose that's so children don't get hurt.
I'm getting ideas because I do with work. It's been going for like 10 years or something. It's like this charity battle of the bands.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
tech startups around Melbourne. Been doing it for like 10, 12 years, I think now. And they'll put forward a band and everyone competes. It's all for charity, and it's just, you don't win anything apart from bragging rights. And it's super fun. Costumes, like silly songs. Our company has won it like 6, 7 of the 10
Yeah, I was about to
years.
say, you're like a big winner at this event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We go far. And then my first year was last year and we won. And then last year we didn't win, but it's contentious because we should have won, but they have to give it to someone else.
Recount the vote.
Recount. Well, the bartenders vote. The bar staff are the judges.
Storm the capital of whichever bar you're at.
I think my manager went up to them afterwards and was like, "What? This is rigged." I was like, "It's okay."
Well, I know another friend of mine I saw posting about the same event, and I was like, oh, it's like a thing.
Yeah.
Because I think initially when you told us about it, I thought it was just your company.
No,
And then I
it's
was like, oh no, this is like all the big guns are coming in.
Fun. And like, I'm the singer, and so I don't really have any equipment or anything like that. So, and I also love costumes and
Yeah,
stage performance.
you were really getting dressed up for it.
Oh, I'm into it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a theatre kid. Like, I grew up doing ballet and like pantomimes and things like that. So that's where I shine. And so I'm like dragging everyone into like Rose Chong, the costume on Gertrude Street. And I'm going, this is the brief. We're doing outer space aliens. I want futuristic, like Barbarella. And like the boys are like picking stuff up. I'm like, put that down. Put this on. I was like,
That is not according to the
brief. And everyone was like, okay. Everyone looked amazing. So you're welcome.
Yeah. I mean,
So fun.
I think I've definitely talked about it on here before, but this band from Canberra called the VBs, who are like a silly pub rock band.
Yeah.
They used to play and have a guy on stage barbecuing while they were playing. And it was like always the funniest thing ever. Just like I definitely saw them play at the Tote, and he was inside on stage with a barbecue, like cooking sausages on the stage. And it was like truly one of the funniest things ever.
How do you like manage that?
Not well.
You have
What's
to have
the
an
OH&S
extraction
and
fan.
I mean, you should.
Yeah.
Was
But
it Little Weber?
Yeah.
Was it like that guy from that band that we saw at the festival that Korn played? What band was that? And he was playing a Weber
Matt's favorite
as a
band.
drum.
The Violent Femmes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. One. They have one song. Yeah. What's that song called? That song. Whatever that song is. Matt Roberts, our dear friend.
Shout out, Matt.
Cheers, Matt. He will listen to this. So, went and paid Australian currency to go to the sideshow to see them. And when we were standing there, I sent him a photo of them playing, and the bass player was playing some kooky bass, and I was like, this is crazy. And then Matt replied, and he was like, wait till he brings the Weber out. And I was like, lol. And then out rolls the Weber, and this dude's just playing drums on a Weber grill.
Blister in the Sun.
Blister in the Sun. Big song. They opened with it.
They opened with it.
And then played for 1 hour. 1 full hour.
I'm looking at these other songs in the most popular, and like, there's a massive drop off after
Absolutely.
the sun
I was like, and what I thought they were
by
going to do.
several hundred million.
Oh my god.
What I thought they would do is the Limp Bizkit, because Limp Bizkit recently have been opening with Break Stuff,
And
closing with Break Stuff, which I think is
Hurt myself.
yeah, I think it's a good idea
Yeah.
for Limp Bizkit. That being said, Limp Bizkit got more songs, I would say,
Oh,
arguably.
Yeah, but that's the one
that's
that
the
gets
big
me
one.
most
Yeah.
hype.
Um,
I got absolutely bodied seeing Limp Bizkit last time, like full clotheslined, and like was convinced I broke my coccyx. Like, you know, the Flemington racecourse, it's like grass, except
Yeah.
there's like in between, because it's like between stages, and I was in one of the mosh pits for some reason. And they have the plastic thing that covers, I'm assuming, wires and stuff.
yeah.
And someone like took me out, and like I landed on that on my coccyx, and I was just like, don't cry, don't cry. Carried on though.
Break your fucking
as well.
ass tonight is what they changed the lyrics to.
And I did.
Yeah, but man, bold move opening with your big song and then just playing some other shit.
Yeah.
Well, it's always interesting to play any song that is like arguably your most popular before the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, or ending on a song that people don't really know that well.
Yeah. I don't think we've done a podcast, well, where I talked about that going to see Korn, but Jet played and so Sum 41 bailed on the show and then it moved everyone up. And so I think Jet got like a real good push because they just lifted themselves up in the order a little bit. And I was out there teasing Jet, like going like, they only got one song. What are they going to do? How are they going to do this? Jet start playing. You were a part of this, but Jet start playing. I know every Jet song.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, wait. I've been to Coles. I've heard like every song they played is just playing somewhere. So you've heard all of them.
I've seen TV adverts.
Yeah, exactly. I've watched the footy. That's where you hear Jet songs. But I was like, how the fuck do I know every other Jet song? Violent Femmes. I only knew one.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That was such a strange choice. And then they put Smashing or Billy Corgan
Yeah.
playing at the same time as Korn.
I had
Yeah.
to ask you who Billy Corgan was.
That was funny. Yeah, Billy Corgan, arguably probably one of the more famous people there, got shafted to the side stage.
Yeah.
But anyway, then Korn played, was dope.
Yeah.
Truly
Oh,
sick.
you're forgetting about your favorite band of the day,
Oh,
Electric Callboy.
Callboy.
That band is
Aggressively
Holy.
European.
they're so popular.
Could not be more European. Electric
not.
Callboy.
I love it. I think
Yeah,
it's funny.
it's a bit of fun. Not really for me, but you know, I can appreciate, you know, people, you know, a lot of people enjoy it because I copped it. I think maybe last Good Things. I was in Sydney and they were playing a sideshow at the Hordern Pavilion and I was on at the Comedy Store and it was like impossible to get into that. I mean, the EQ complex in Sydney is fucked anyway.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare, but like I was surprised at how many people were there to see them.
Yeah.
You know, when you're like, I have never heard of this band or just haven't.
People
clocked it.
had signs and like German flags.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
German Australian residents were like, they got out there that day.
Well, you know why I like it? Costumes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
they'd be
costume-
dressing up every
there's
song.
Costume changes.
Yeah.
There was pyro.
Yeah.
Well, they don't seem to take themselves too serious either.
Clearly.
Like, which is you know, I always appreciate that. You
Yeah.
take the piss out of yourself. That's awesome.
Yeah. They've got the breakdowns. They've got the like Euro rave
It is
in there.
dance music with breakdowns.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And
I
they've
don't
kind of,
understand why you don't.
and I guess it's kind of like they've done the whole YouTube video gone viral, like kind of like OK Go did like way before.
Yeah.
That is one of the best music videos ever. The treadmills ones.
They're
Yeah.
still doing it. I had one come up in my feed today. They just put out a new video, and it's
yeah.
all the same. They've got to have a thing now,
Yeah.
which must be exhausting.
Oh my God.
Do you see the ones they had the people on those little They were, I don't know what they were. They weren't scooters. They were like sit down, like single wheel things.
Oh.
And they did that.
Unicycles.
Yeah.
No, like the motorized thing.
But like motorized.
Oh,
And
those
they were all
little
going-
Segway things.
Yeah. But like a little sit down.
Okay.
Between your legs Segway thing.
Yeah, right. There's a guy. There's one of the ones where it's the platform wheel, like the uni wheel thing.
Yeah.
And there's a guy that just zooms around in it in a full like race suit and a helmet. It looks like something out of a fucking like cyberpunk movie or something like that.
I remember because like our version of like rage in England was Kerrang.
Yeah.
And so I would just come home from school or eventually come home from like work or whatever and just sit on the sofa
Yeah.
and watch like Kerrang back to back. And that was always on there. And I think I learnt the treadmill dance. So Mum was constantly coming into the lounge and I'm like, Mum, look, sit down and watch. And she's like, you're 19, stop it.
I have to perform for you.
Yeah. I'm a dancer, darling.
Well, this Electric Callboy been around since 2010.
Yeah.
That's wild. I would not have expected.
Takes 10 years to become an overnight success.
That's
Yeah.
it. 100,000 hours, 10,000 hours.
10,000 fucking dance music songs with breakdowns. Yeah, it was crazy up there. I didn't have too much time for that. I was very into Corn though.
That was brilliant.
I wish I could have been into corn. I was working at Good Things.
Yeah.
Standing with you guys, immediately get a text. Hey, man, you need to do work now.
No more,
wait.
no more fun for you. Anyway, we've been chatting for a long time here.
Yeah.
Final plug for the show.
Yes, but I also have a question for you guys.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
go for
Yeah.
it. Let's go.
Because
Aquarius.
Thank you, noted. I'm still putting the final touches on my playlist for next week's show.
Oh,
Yeah,
And I've got maybe like 6 to 8 spots left to round it out.
yeah.
So I was going to turn the tables on you and be like, give me your favorite 3 songs. Don't give me 3 Crowbar songs.
Well, you're gonna get one at least. So
Like
suck
top 3
shit.
songs from whenever. Just your favorite. And I'll do an old
Hardcore songs or
hardcore.
whatever.
It's a hardcore show, baby.
Okay. I'll give you. Well, I think I would have to give you a Mind Snare song for sure.
Yeah.
If you don't already have, I'm really bad with song names. I know numbers on.
Yeah.
albums.
Oh, same.
I think Cold by Mind Snare.
Yeah.
Would be my one. Mm-hmm. Ben, you want to do one, or you want me to keep going?
yeah, I'll do one. I'll go Foundation, and I'll go A Warm Place in Hell.
Stunning. Did you watch any of the footage from FYA?
No, I haven't seen that yet. I actually had a little mental note that I like have to watch that
Yeah.
soon. I haven't had like much couch time lately, but that was because I'd like seen that they were coming back.
Yeah.
And yeah, because every time I saw them here, and it was like kind of that weird period where it was like bands work. Like I feel like Foundation were the biggest thing that came out during that time. Maybe a bit after Twitching Tongues. Oh,
Yeah.
it was maybe same time.
It was the same time. Yeah.
Same time, and then they came out one more time.
Yeah.
And that were maybe like their last shows. That
Yeah.
would have been like what, 14, 15,
Fucking
something like
ages
that.
ago. Yeah.
But yeah, they were sick as hell, and I would love to see them again.
Yeah. Turncoat's probably one of my favourite albums.
Yeah.
Not getting you guys to do my job for me, by the way. I just thought
That's
this would be
okay.
Cute.
I'm going to give you a Crowbar song because I would say it's a hardcore song, even though they're a metal band. I mean, I'm
I'll
just
take it. There's a bit of crossover on there.
yeah. It's called "Leave It Behind" by Crowbar.
Nice.
It's off Time Heals Nothing. It's a great song. I would say it's one of those songs that I think bands like Hatebreed and stuff like heard that and were like, this is what the music we should be playing.
Yeah.
So that's a quick
hear
one
that.
by me.
Nice.
I'll go maybe slightly oi. I'm gonna go Citadel Rock by Rix.
Yeah.
That song is constantly in my head lately.
This man's so close to shaving his head and
Oh yeah,
getting the suspenders going.
chuck them over.
I see that for you. You have to
I think
bring the
I've-
skinny
I've-
pants back though.
Yeah, I've tried it out. Maybe I could do big pant skinhead.
Billowy pants with the suspenders.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm gonna just to do a plug for my friend's upcoming tour. I'm gonna give you "Breeding Grounds" by Harm's Way.
I've already got Ham's Way on the playlist.
Well, I'll find another song. Ben, you keep talking.
I'll go "Love Song" by Haywire.
Great. I love that song.
It's about. Have you heard the acoustic version on
Yeah.
the new EP?
Maybe I can play the acoustic version leading into the breakfast
I like.
show.
I like the acoustic version. It's really good.
That's a great release.
Okay, I'm gonna give you another local plug for me.
Nice.
Aglo's playing on. By the time we put this up, I'm not gonna give you an Aglo song.
What about a jailed song?
That's what I was about to say. What song off the Jailed record? Actually, just Dealer's Choice, the new Jailed record, Beastie or Hardcore. Just pick a song.
Great.
But Aglo's playing with them next week, so at the Tote.
26. I've spent a lot of fucking time at the Tote
Friday.
lately. The home of rock.
Sunday, the day before the public holiday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're playing there with Jailed and a bunch of other bands. It'll be dope. Come to that.
I'll be there.
You'll be there. Yeah, we're spending a lot of time at the Tote. We both have Tote stamps present to
Oh,
Couple of
Have a
rockers.
two
wash.
rockers. I've been washing. Don't worry about that. I hate this shit.
There's got to be another system.
Yeah.
Face ID.
no.
Scan my existence.
No, final plug would just be, if you like the genre of music hardcore, you can tune in, as I said before, pbsfm.org.au online. You can always catch up if you are not awake between the wee small hours of 2 and 6 a.m.
Remind us of the show name.
No barriers.
Great name.
Thank you. Because that's the best type of shows. I'm sick of
absolutely.
these barriers. No barriers at shows. And it's a unique defining aspect, I think, of hardcore. So it's just a natural choice. But yeah, 106.7 FM. Cover everything. Like I said, very genre agnostic. If it's hardcore, it's going in there.
She's playing Crowbar.
I'm playing
I've done it.
20 Crowbar. And yeah, like big focus on new music because there's so much out there at the minute. But obviously definitely want to do that, like diving in, going down the wormhole that I think we all find ourselves in when we're like looking for or we like hear a riff in a song and I'm like, I swear I've heard that riff before, and then like trying to find that song and going down that rabbit hole. So come down the rabbit hole with me. From 2 and 6 a.m. We'll catch up. But we'll see. No one does graveyards forever. You've got to cut your teeth in the radio sphere somehow.
Soon it'll be hardcore breakfast.
Exactly.
I'm counting on it.
Yeah, hardcore drive time.
Yeah.
Shouting at people when they're driving home from work. That's what you probably need. I think the only thing I haven't mentioned is I'm starting a band.
Oh, yeah.
Band.
Yeah, playing a show.
We've got shows.
Soon as.
We've got 2 shows locked in.
Spooky band.
So we're called Timepeace.
Yep.
Peace spelt peace.
Yep.
So it's like for fans of like early 80s, 90s New York hardcore. So like Leeway, Underdog,
Dope.
Burn. Well, that's the music, and then I'm vocals doing whatever the hell I'm doing on top.
We've talked a lot about crooning lately. What is that, the style, or is that?
Oh yeah, I'm just crooning into the microphone.
Yeah, I'm hitting them with some buble.
Yeah, little buble. But I've never done a hardcore band before. Done an emo band a very long time ago. So the band are great, like very patient and with me and like supportive for me trying things and stuff. And I've been getting singing lessons and just trying to like strengthen it up and figure out how I want to sound. And so I've written lyrics to 5 songs. They all sound wildly different, but getting there. I think like the more you write, as you know, like the more you kind of like find it. And so I'm stoked. So we've just announced that we're supporting Fever Shack on their album release tour. That's February sometime, I think. February.
I think it's the 22nd because I looked at it because I'm not going to be here. So.
Oh, great.
Sorry.
But we're also, I think, it hasn't been announced yet, but I think we're going to do a midweek crisis.
Cool.
Oh, cool.
Last chance.
I'll come to that.
Great.
Yep.
It's free. So no excuse.
Yeah, I'm a fuckhead if I don't go.
Come listen to me hit some interesting notes.
Have
you written like that before?
No. So like I write for my job. I work in marketing, so but I write factually and like just like it's boring. And so I haven't done creative writing in so long. So like having like relearning that skill, and then also like obviously you're putting yourself into it, and then like it's like anything creative, and you're just like, oh my god, are people gonna think this is stupid? Like, so
A piece of advice:
hit me.
start watching Star Trek. You can. There's a lot of lyric material.
I've actually just written a song that I've got a Harry Potter line in.
Okay, so it's the Harry Potter
I
band.
was watching Harry Potter on the plane home from the UK, and I was like, Dumbledore's spitting some facts here. Like,
Hey, Haka's got to know about this.
Gotta tell the people. But yeah, so that's really cool and just like fun. Like we're just excited to have fun with it. And it's been a right laugh.
Absolutely,
Shout
sick
out
as hell.
Timepeace.
Timepeace, brutal, and No Barriers radio show.
That's it. That's all you need to know.
Ben, what you got coming up? Comedy Fest.
Comedy Fest. I've just announced my Comedy Fest show, Punk Music. The poster's out there.
Posters
It
going,
looks so
skits.
sick.
Yeah, I'm really. I mean, I got a lot of. I'm just in it, you know.
I'm in the poster.
Yeah, you're in the poster.
Yeah.
Matt Roberts.
Callum.
Oh, that's when I
Callum,
was
my
away,
friend
wasn't it?
Matt Vasquez, and the boys in Grevilla,
Yeah,
who were just hanging at the tote the day we took the photos.
very funny.
And then ended up rocking ass.
They're awesome.
In
Yeah.
the front bar. Awesome punk band. And yeah, I just hope the show matches up to how good the poster is, which is still a work in progress. But I did my first trial for it the other day, which went well.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling very good about it. Working on a new show. Yeah, I'm excited for it. So, Comedy Fest at the Cooper's Inn, April 8th to 20th. No Mondays.
No Mondays.
7:40.
Great.
Good time.
Good time to do it.
I'll be there.
So yeah, check out my website, solo.net or IG. All the stuff's there.
Dope.
Just did up my website.
Yeah, finally.
Nah, I just gave it a refresh.
Okay.
But it's good to go. Yeah, it's up there.
Nice. Check that out, listeners. And if you got to 1 hour and 2 minutes, come see Aglo play at the Tote next week. And from the sounds of things, I'll just be at the Tote every weekend now until I'm dead.
You're covered in stamps.
Oh God, I'm getting that's like a real punk guy thing to do is like
Get a tattoo
get a
on.
tattoo of a stamp. Dog move, but anyway. Robyn, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having
Thank
me.
you so much, mate. Great to chat to you.
Yeah. Just like being at the pub.
Yeah,
Great.
see you later.
Bye.
Bye.